They thought I walked away defeated, but the truth is, walking away was the most powerful move I ever made. When I found out my ex-husband remarried, I didn't cry. I didn't react. I smiled quietly, not because I missed him, but because I finally saw the full picture. The woman he married believes their anniversary means love, loyalty, honesty. What she doesn't know is that during that exact time, he and I were still legally married, still connected, still trying to work things out. She doesn't know that while he was promising her a future, he was coming back to me, emotionally and physically whenever it suited him. And here's the irony. I didn't even know she existed. That realization hurt once, but now it feels like justice waiting patiently. Our marriage didn't end because I gave up. It ended because I finally woke up. I was young, deeply in love, and blind to warning signs. After the wedding, his control tightened slowly, silently. When I finally left, I took only a few things and my dignity. When he came to talk, his softness turned into anger, his apologies into threats. That was the moment I stopped being afraid and started becoming free. Months later, he returned with a new story. Therapy changed growth. I believed him. We talked again, met again, tried again. But some people don't change. They just get better at hiding. One night, lying beside him, a notification appeared on his phone. A dating app. No explanation needed. That was my revenge. Not screaming, not exposing him. I stood up, gathered my things, and walked out for the last time. He said I belonged to him. I proved him wrong, with silence. Later, the divorce was quick.
No drama, no battles.
Time did what truth always does. It revealed everything. Their anniversary,
A lie.
their beginning, overlapped with my ending. Now, I could tell her. I could show proof. I could destroy the story he sold her. But the real revenge? I'm engaged, happy, thriving. While his truth is built on cracks, mine is built on peace. I didn't need to expose him. Life did it for me, quietly, perfectly. I own an apartment in Manhattan, New York City. A few years ago, I decided to rent it out fully furnished and move into the house I had bought for my 87
Year.
old mother who needed full-time care. The rental income was supposed to become my main source of income, so I was very careful in choosing a tenant. My new tenant was a middle-aged woman from Queensland, Australia. She claimed that she had owned and lived in her home for 30 years, so she didn't have any landlord references. She was employed, financially qualified, and had provided some solid reference letters. Everything looked good on paper, so I trusted her. But reality turned out to be completely different. About 7 months into a 1-year lease, she suddenly stopped paying rent. I tried to contact her many times, calls, messages, emails, but got no response. Finally, I had no choice but to take the matter to housing court. I got the apartment back through legal channels. When I entered the apartment, what I saw was shocking. The apartment was extremely dirty, furniture was damaged, the microwave was broken, and many things required costly repairs. After that, I also filed a case in small claims court for damages. The court ruled in my favor, confirming that she was responsible for unpaid rent and damages. But she skipped all the court dates, quietly left the apartment, and went back to Australia. Legally, I was right, but in reality, enforcing the judgment from another country would be very expensive and difficult. What frustrated me the most was knowing that if she did this to me, she could do it to others as well. That's when I decided to take a different path. Stay within the law, but make the truth visible. Her name was quite unique, so I purchased a domain with her name and created a simple website. On that website, I posted only facts that could be proven. Court judgments, photos of the apartment's condition, damaged furniture, and broken appliances. I was very careful not to include any personal attacks or opinions. Everything was factual. Over time, the website started appearing in search results when you searched her name. I realized that people were reaching the truth naturally, without any effort or promotion. Some of the people who had written her reference letters even reached out, finally seeing the full picture. My goal was not revenge, but to make sure that the truth could not be hidden. Almost 3 years later, I still own the domain, the website is still live, and people still visit it. Yes, maintaining it costs a little money, but the peace of mind knowing that I didn't let this injustice go unchecked is priceless. She had caused me a financial and emotional loss of $20,000, but now the consequences of her choices are far greater than anything she saved by avoiding rent. Every job she applies for, every apartment she tries to rent, every person. This story is not about shaming anyone, but about a lesson. When people think they can act irresponsibly without consequences, life has a way of revealing the truth sooner or later. I know the title might make me sound like a terrible person, and honestly, I've already accepted that possibility. But for the sake of complete honesty, I want to share the full picture of what really happened. I was with my fiancé, Matt, for 8 long years where I truly believed we were building a family. Matt has a daughter, Vivian, who is now 14 years old. From the very beginning, I made a real effort to include her in everything. I enrolled her in extracurricular activities, sports, programs, events, and I showed up for every single one. I spent thousands of dollars on things she wanted or needed without hesitation. I tried to bond with her one-on-one, doing girly things like getting our hair and nails done, shopping trips, and special dinners at restaurants she personally chose. But no matter what I did, nothing ever seemed good enough. At restaurants, she would loudly complain that the food was terrible. After hair or nail appointments, she'd say it looked bad every time. Even on Christmas, with 16 gifts under the tree, all items from her exact wish list, she still said she was grateful. But that was painful, but I kept trying. Then there were the smaller things, the daily frustrations that slowly add up. My personal belongings began to go missing, my makeup, my hairbrush, even my clothes. Despite being told multiple times not to touch my things, they became fair game. My hairbrush would be left on the counter, filled with strands of her hair. My makeup, despite hers being higher quality, was constantly used anyway. When I tried to calmly talk to her about boundaries, she would simply stare through me, nod, and say, as if nothing I said mattered. If I pressed the issue, she'd accuse me of creating unnecessary drama, making me feel like the problem. Half my clothing disappeared over time, and when I caught her wearing my things, she would insist I had given them to her. It left me questioning my own memory and my own sanity, which was emotionally exhausting. Matt did step in every single time. He reprimanded her, he talked to her, he tried. But no matter what he did, nothing changed. Then came the moment that broke everything, over something that seemed so small but wasn't. We have a 2-year-old together who has been extremely sick. Between caring for her all day and being up most nights, I often forget to eat. 3 nights ago, around 11 p.m., I finally got the baby to sleep and made myself a small bowl of tuna for crackers. It wasn't fancy, but I was starving and I was really craving it. Vivian walked in, saw me preparing it, grabbed a drink, and went back to her room. When the baby woke up again, I put my food in the fridge and handled bedtime. When I came back out, Vivian was sitting on the couch eating my food. It was the last of the tuna. I hadn't eaten dinner because I didn't enjoy the meal I had cooked earlier. I was exhausted, overwhelmed, and hungry. I lost my patience just a little. I asked why she would take my food, knowing she had already eaten. She rolled her eyes, dumped the bowl on the counter, and walked off to her room.
That was it for me.
I woke Matt up immediately and told him I was done. I asked him and his daughter to leave by the next day and stay elsewhere. They went to his mother's house, and since then, my home has been unbelievably peaceful. Matt keeps asking if he can come back just to talk. He tells me I don't mean what I'm saying, that I love his daughter, that I've been part of her life for more than half of it. But the truth is, for the first time in years, I feel calm. I feel rested, safe, and emotionally stable in my own home. And that realization scares me, because it made me question everything. Am I really willing to give up 8 years, a loving relationship, and the future I imagined just to protect my peace? I don't know the answer yet. All I know is right now this silence feels like healing. I already know the title probably makes me sound like a bad person, and honestly, I've accepted that. But if I'm going to tell this story, I want to be completely honest without hiding anything. My brother believes he is some kind of expert on women, which I personally do not agree with. He has very strong opinions about my relationship with my fiancé, and he never hesitates to share them, even when they are unwanted. Most of his advice is bad, genuinely bad, and I usually ignore it. Not just because it's unhelpful, but also because he is my younger brother, and he has never been in a healthy long-term relationship himself. I've never said that to his face before, until now. My fiancé and I made a personal decision to live separately for a short period before our wedding. We wanted moving into our new home, our honeymoon, and our wedding night to feel extra special. This choice reflected our values, not anyone else's. My parents kindly offered for me to move back home during this phase. My mom was especially excited. She wanted to help with wedding preparations, and having access to my dad's van would make things easier. So I agreed, and I'm currently living with them. My brother still lives at home too, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But since I moved back, his commentary about my relationship increased a lot. He openly said he couldn't believe I was marrying the first woman I had ever been intimate with. The truth is, he doesn't need to believe it. He just needs to show up, wear a suit, and smile. He also repeatedly made comments about my fiancé's appearance, calling her immature-looking, and even questioned my identity in ways that felt deeply disrespectful. At that point, I wasn't reacting without cause. I had been pushed. Then he started criticizing our decision to live apart temporarily. He claimed it was crazy and suggested my fiancé was trying to condition me for a distant marriage. According to him, once the rings were on, my life would completely change. I reminded him that he has never been married and that theory and reality are very different things. He insisted he had done extensive research and implied I was inexperienced and naive for not dating more. That's when I finally snapped. I told him very calmly at first that he actually doesn't understand women at all. I explained that most women value emotional and physical closeness, but they also value respect. And when respect is missing, attraction disappears. I pointed out that the reason his past relationships never lasted wasn't because he was too smart or too independent, but because his attitude pushed people away. That may have been painful to hear, but it was honest. Yes, I said things I could have worded better, but after months of constant judgment, I had reached my limit. He immediately went to our parents, who said wedding planning is stressful and asked me to apologize. But I didn't lash out because I was stressed. I spoke up because I finally set a boundary. Since then, I've been questioning myself. Was I too harsh, or was I simply honest after years of silence? My fiancé fully supports me, though she admittedly does not like my brother at all. She believes I should have spoken up much earlier. So now I'm left reflecting. Was I wrong for finally defending my relationship? Or was this a necessary moment of truth? Sometimes, peace only comes after uncomfortable honesty. Setting boundaries may upset people, especially those who benefited from crossing them. So the real question is, backhand index pointing right, is protecting your peace worth being seen as the bad person? Or is staying silent the real mistake? If this story made you think, or reminded you of someone you know, don't forget to like the video. It really helps support the channel. And if you enjoy real-life stories, honest emotions, and true relationship moments from Reddit, make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is Reddit Reality USA, where real people share real experiences. New stories are posted regularly, so turn on notifications and stay connected. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.